Let's talk about helping kids go poop on the toilet. This can be so stressful, especially if you have a kiddo who's going pee on the toilet, who's not going poop on the toilet. I hear you. And through my talks about potty training with so many parents, it is a hot topic. It is one of the most talked about things in potty training. So I'm here to normalize talking about poop. My name is Katie T. Christensen. I'm the creator of Peaceful Potty Training, an online potty training course. So poop is a normal conversation in my own household. You could ask my 13-year-old, because even though my kids are older, we still have conversations about what is your poop like today? And this is important because the number one reason why children are having trouble going poop on the potty is because they are constipated. I know, bad news, but don't worry because I am here to help you. So we know that the number one reason this happens is because Dr. Steve Hodges in his book, It's No Accident, talks about how up to 30% of kids are constipated these days. That's a lot of kids who are constipated. So you are not alone if your kid is not going poop in the toilet. So in addition to constipation, other reasons that kids are constipated could be related to fear or the pressure to perform. So we'll talk about all of those and I'll help get you on the right track. So one of the first things you want to do is rate your child's poop. I know it sounds so weird, but there's a Bristol stool scale out there, and the Bristol stool scale was put together by a bunch of doctors about how your poop should be. So if your child has always had kind of lumpy poop, that's a problem. And if your child doesn't have soft applesaucey poop, that's probably a problem too. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of helping your child with constipation. When it comes to constipation, it can take months to get it all resolved. So first of all, keep in mind that you need to be extra patient and understanding. And instead of trying to force your child through this, it's a gentle process to ease them through. One of the first things that we can do to help children go poop in the toilet is to help them have fun through playing. And the muscles that children need to push to get the poop out is something that you can do with bubbles. What I love about this is that potty training should be playful and kids should be having fun. It shouldn't be this like tug of war or forceful situation. So pull out the bubbles the next time it's time for your child to sit on the toilet and let them blow away. Number 2, there's a proper poop position that your child should be sitting in. So no dangling legs whatsoever. What I like the most is those potty chairs that have the ladder that you can hold on to with the handles. I love those. And that way your child can have their knees up high. We want their knees higher than their hips. And we want them to lean forward like they're hugging their legs. So when your child's sitting on the toilet, encourage them to do all of those things and make sure you have the right supplies for that. We'll link below with our favorite potty chairs. Number 3, let kids wear pull-ups. This makes such a huge difference. As someone who has potty trained kids day in and day out, I have to tell you that pull-ups can be such a lifesaver, especially for those kiddos who go pee in the toilet but aren't going poop in the toilet. So not only that, but in this awesome book, you can see all my notes here. I learned so much. Dr. Steve Hodges, who is a leading urologist who handles this stuff all the time, he tells us that kids have the best peeing and pooping habits when they're still in diapers, which makes total sense, and kids aren't going to be withholding. So when you give a kiddo a pull-up, that gives them the opportunity to still use the pull-up to go poop, but then they can be independent enough to go pee at the same time. So if you've ever wondered or ever heard things like, oh, it's just so confusing to kids to let them wear pull-ups, rest assured you don't need to worry about that. I've done this with so many kids and it's very rare that they will just do everything in the pull-up, especially if you're sending them to the bathroom every 2 hours and keeping them on a good routine. So don't worry about that. Number 4, there are ideal times of day for your child to go poop in the toilet. First of all, think about when they're going poop in their diaper. That might be an indication. If they're going poop in their diaper in their sleep, then that's a sign that more intervention is needed. But say they go poop in their diaper or their pull-up after lunch every day, then you know that's an ideal time to put them on the toilet. So what you would do is after 20 minutes after that meal, you would take them to the toilet. Or another great time is to send them in the early morning. So soon after they wake up, those muscles are going to be contracting and ready. So that is a great time as well. Keep in mind, if your child is not going poop in the potty, sending them every day several times is not going to make it easier. It is going to frustrate them. So definitely limit and be strategic about when you're sending them to go poop on the toilet. And make sure they're comfortable with it too. Number 5, a great way to help your child warm up to the toilet, feel secure and not afraid about it, and to help them through the feelings of being constipated is to read poop books to them. So we have a list of our favorite poop books that we're going to list below. And just reading these will just help your child understand the process of eating food and how it goes through their bodies and how it comes out. Including your child in this understanding can really help them just feel more at ease at the process, or help them understand that pooping is important and it's something that their body really needs to do. Now, I want to have a word about chronic constipation. So if your child has been constipated for a long time, I would like to tell you about pelvic floor dysfunction, because that is a real thing. So if your child withholds, then you might want to look into it, because your child may not even know how to push the poop out. In this case, it's like they trap it in, and the expert's help in this is a physical therapist with pelvic floor specialty. So I would take a look around in your area, see if you can find someone who does that. If you can't find one in a pediatric physical therapist office, a OBGYN office might have someone who specializes in pelvic floor that might have some pediatric experience. And then another option is to look into occupational therapy for your child. And then I have to say this, if your child is constipated, the number one thing you have to do alongside all of these is get to the root cause of what's causing it. Because if you get your child going poop and they're still having issues that make them constipated, then it's just this vicious cycle that goes on and on and on, that can go on for years, literally. So to get to the root cause, first of all, you want to look and see if there's allergies. It could be dairy is a big culprit for this, and also wheat and oats. Any of those, try and cut them out if possible. I know it's hard to do. We've done it in our family, so just do as best as you can. And then also, you want to soften the poop. A great way to do that is to look at your child's fiber and magnesium intake. Are they getting enough of those? Chances are that they could use a lot more. And then we want those muscles to be able to contract and get that poop pushed out. So my favorite thing to help with that is coconut water. And it's also a sign that your child needs more potassium. So that potassium will help those muscles contract and just help it so that your child's not having to just work so hard, but you're giving it a little bit of support too. Now, if your child doesn't like coconut water because it doesn't taste that great, you can turn it into a popsicle or add some kind of flavoring to it to make it more appealing. And then your child needs lots and lots of water, because in order for your body to soften the stool that's stuck in the colon, it's going to have to pull water into it somehow. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there and get harder and harder. Some of you might know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's a sign. Give your child tons more water, whatever way you can get them to drink it. And that way, that when they have that soft poo and then their muscles are helping them contract and push it out, they're not going to feel so upset about going to the bathroom anymore. They're going to feel more at ease. They're going to know they're able to push it out because it's soft. And then they'll work through being able to push out a soft poop so it's not hurting anymore. So definitely get to the root of your child's constipation issues. And if you'd like more tips and more information for potty training through constipation, it's in my course, peacefulpottytraining.com. So take a look over there, and we'll have it in the link below too. All right, I hope this gives you lots of information. If you found it helpful, I'd love if you'd give me a like too. All right, happy pooping.